Very much. Want to go to Dr.
Thank you.
Tom Price right now, the former Health and Human Services Secretary under Donald Trump, former Georgia Congressman, a doctor himself. Good to have you, Tom. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
What do you make of this variant and whether we should be worried about it?
Well, I think, again, as we've discussed, these types of variants are to be expected. This is what new viruses do. They mutate. They change over a period of time. I think this is more evidence that the virus itself, the COVID virus, is actually endemic in our society and will be for a period of time, likely around the world. We've got to learn to live with it. That doesn't mean we have to run away in fear or to lock down because of it, but to learn to live with it. And that's what we do with every single infectious disease that affects mankind. So this is not unusual. It's something that we can be proud of with the vaccination rates continuing to be higher. The treatment is better. And so I don't think there is cause for alarm. There's cause for concern. There's no doubt about it. But there's not cause for alarm.
All right. Now, I know that Omicron has around 50 mutations, making it one of the more problematic virus sort of variants to keep track of here. But yet in Africa, there's not been a spike in not only the number of cases, but even anything serious. Now, it could be just, South Africa, we're talking book right now, not wanting to be isolated, in this global travel ban. But what do you make of that?
Well, again, it's a little too soon to know. We ought to know within a number of weeks the severity of the illness that this new variant creates and the level of transmissibility, whether it's about the same as other COVID variants or whether it's increased or even decreased. So it appears right now that the level of disease, the severity of the disease is somewhat less with this variant, but it's just too soon to know. But we do know that vaccines help. They help in these COVID infections. They decrease the level of severity of disease, even if it doesn't stop it completely.
But do any of those vaccines, Doctor, do they address this? They don't individually. I mean, that's what got the market so spooked in this FT interview that, the head of Moderna conducted, where he said, no, it doesn't. Now, by that, I don't think he was saying they don't do anything. So they give you some protection, don't they?
That's right. And it's the spike protein. It's this protein that the virus has that allows it to get into human cells. And that's where the major portion of the mutations are in this Omicron variant. And so it's, again, too soon, 2 to 3 weeks, 4 weeks, we're going to be able to know how effective the current vaccines are against this virus. And if they're not, then we'll know what we need to do to be able to make an additional vaccine or additional booster, if you will, that would allow for utilization for this variant if, in fact, the transmissibility is greater and the severity of the disease is greater. If it's not, then there's no need to do that, and we don't know that yet.
Real quickly, the CDC says all vaccinated adults should get booster shots. Everybody. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I think it's a wise thing. Again, this is a new virus. We just don't know that much about it. We don't know the long-term effects of it. I think it's wise to do so. I've done so myself and recommend it for others, especially those who are immunocompromised or have other comorbidities and diseases.
Got it. Dr. Tom Price, former Health and Human Services Secretary, former Georgia Congressman. Great seeing you. Thank you.